Dr. Susan Lee Research Notes by John Borneman. When the brilliant but eccentric Dr. Susan Lee, professor of ancient engineering history, Euro-America University, died, she left behind an unrivaled body of work. Her paper, Landmark Inventions from 2010 CE to 2300 CE, became a standard in ancient engineering education. However, a recent study of her research files revealed hundreds of supplemental notes on humanity's less successful inventions. These small vignettes, although not used by Dr. Lee in her published papers, still yield an important insight into early engineering history. The right stuff. The following vignette was found written on a napkin and stuck to a copy of Dr. Lee's treatise on the inventions of Professor Armin Polonzo, perpetual motion device, patent number 34598D-3485096 2176 CE, and a device for finally forcing a perpetual motion device to stop, patent number 34784E-846379290 2181 CE. After the Saturnian Ring Wars, 2150 CE to 2158 CE, the natural cycles of society led humanity toward a simpler, more Orcadian way of life. This trend toward a less complicated lifestyle was particularly prevalent on Mars. As an example, by 2163, Mars inhabitants had stopped using flight tubes and zip cars unless forced to travel long distances. People abandoned their auto chefs, and children no longer learned through electrodidactic trance, but through instruction by an actual computerized teacher. And Wilhelmina Boggs, scrap metal dealer, living on the edge of a refuse disposal canyon near Yogi City, decided to reinvent the bicycle. Wilhelmina had always been aware of the existence of bicycles. Her grandparents had told her stories of bicycling in their youth back on Earth. She held a deliciously vague impression of these romantic objects, constructed of wheels, gears, colorful streamers, and flapping baseball cards. People who rode bicycles floated over the ground with little effort, wearing broad smiles and broader hats. Her first plan was to learn about bicycle building from MarsLink. She used a full month's credits sending out queries. Unfortunately, and true to form, MarsLink returned 5 gazillion hits to cover everything from bicyclic trends in Triton's helium production to the bucolic poetry of Sachaya Jones, but nothing on building bicycles. Therefore, armed with zero knowledge and a junkyard full of scrap metal and a great deal of pluck, she set about building her Mars cycle. Wilhelmina raided the junkyard for wheels and sprockets and metal tubes. She begged colored ribbons from the Yogi City sewing circle. And even though one could tell her what a baseball card was, she wrote the words baseball card on a piece of metal and bolted it to the seat. Demonstration Day was a town event. Most of Yogi City arrived at the junkyard to witness Wilhelmina's invention. The mayor foresaw a grand new era in Yogi City prosperity. The city council argued vociferously over the proper color of bicycle crossing signs. Mothers with picnic baskets sat on Wilhelmina's junk piles and fed their children fried chicken and tart potato salad. At last, Wilhelmina hauled out her invention. It had 2 wheels, one in front, one in back. A broomstick gaily decorated with streamers extended up from the front, providing leverage for steering. 2 footpads were mounted underneath, and a battered desk chair perched on top. When asked why she painted it blue, her reply was, "Because everything else on this damn planet is red." Wilhelmina rolled the Mars cycle around, pointed it away from the onlookers. Throwing her scarf over her shoulder, Wilhelmina waved to the cheering crowd and mounted. She discovered that riding a bicycle was not as easy as her grandparents' stories implied. Glaring sternly at the wheels, elbows and knees akimbo, she pumped the footpads furiously. Her craft moved forward, wobbling violently past barking dogs, fleeing children, and indignant council members. After 15 long meters, Wilhelmina found her balance, relaxed, looked up, and rolled over the sharp edge of the canyon.